So we have the wonderful task of figuring out what is the length of the side labeled A. And remember, first thing we're going to do is to label that triangle. So from here, looking down, this is going to be the opposite. From here, looking across, this is going to be the hypotenuse. And the last line that's left is going to be the adjacent. Great. So I'm just going to shade where the angle is. Good. And to find the length of A, we're going to probably have to use a trig ratio. So we know that sine theta is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. Cosine theta is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And tan an angle is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So we have an angle. We're trying to figure out what A is, which is the adjacent. So the ratio we use must have the adjacent in there. Let's look at sine. Is there any A for adjacent? No. So straight away, this one is out. There's an A here in cosine and there's an A here in tangent. So we were given the hypotenuse now. So the ratio we're going to use must have both the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So here's a hypotenuse, no hypotenuse. So we're going to have to use the cosine ratio. It's the winning ratio right now. So we're going to say cosine of theta, any angle, is equal to its adjacent divided by its hypotenuse. So let's check. Is there an angle in this diagram? 15, and that's the angle we're concerned with. So we're going to say cosine 15 degrees should be equal to the adjacent. What's the adjacent? Adjacent A. So A. Great. And we're going to divide that by the hypotenuse. What's the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse 10. And that's 10 meters. So to find A, we need to get rid of this divide by 10 meters. And the opposite of dividing is multiplying. And if we were dividing by 10 meters, we need to multiply by 10 meters on both sides. Because we want it to be balanced, that's why we multiply it on both sides. Great. So this multiply by 10 will cancel this divide by 10, leaving us with just A here on the right. So A is going to work out to be 10 times cosine 15 degrees. So I'm going to put that in the calculator. 10 multiplied by cosine. Here's a cosine button. And I'm going to put in brackets now 15 degrees. 15. And that is 9.66 to 2 decimal places. So A is going to be 9.66. And remember, our units was in meters, so we're going to have 9.66 meters. So this question was asking us to find the adjacent, given that we have the hypotenuse and the angle. Easy.